Hi, everybody. We are obviously launching the coaching school, and someone just asked me the other day, "What is the coaching school?" I said, "You know what? It's really a takeoff on a cooking school." And I always use this analogy. I mean, if you love Italian food, for example, if we go to 5 Italian restaurants and they all specialize in lasagna, are they going to all taste exactly the same? Probably not. People use different ingredients. They use different ways of cooking, the way they cook the sauces, maybe the meats or the noodles, however they prepare their food. It's the same thing with people. How do we prepare them to be successful? So, one of the challenges that we have more than anything is to create what I call coaching recipes for absolute success. And I recently just wrote about one of my favorite clients, the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team. And they are probably one of the best clients I've ever had for about 18, 19 years. Quite frankly, they should have fired us a long time ago because they don't need us anymore. So, our mission as a company is always to indoctrinate coaching inside the company, never to create this attachment to the outside service like you have to have us. I don't agree with that because I believe coaching in an organization should come from within. Leaders should be coaching their employees, not the outsider coaching employees. So the Milwaukee Brewers around 18, 19 years ago, it's one of our infamous interactions. And one of my favorite people in the world, Jim Bathy, the vice president of sales and marketing, he sat down with me and he had this stern face and he said, "So are you going to come in with the same workbook every year and train us?" And I looked at him. It was really an odd question. And I said, "No." And he goes, "Because, we've had that and that's not what I want." And I said, "Boy, you're a little jaded about training. What happened?" And what he basically said was, we hired somebody and they came in next year with the same workbook. They went through the same stuff. And I said, "No, that's not what we do. We're not a training firm. We're a coaching firm. I will come in and do group coaching." He said, "Oh, well, what's the difference?" I said, "Group coaching is more around facilitation and having people work together versus just disseminating content. I'm not against training. That's just not what we do." And he said, "Okay, well, we'll try this." So 18, 19 years later, we have implemented, and here's our recipe. They deal with customers from a sales and a customer service standpoint. And their recipe is really the implementation of a peer to peer coaching system. We literally started this 18, 19 years ago. And I always remember a young guy from the Chicago White Sox joined Christian, and it was his first day on the job. I'll never forget this. And he came up and he said, "I've never been in an environment like this where I get to give feedback, not only to someone who's been doing it longer, but on my first day on the job. And it was received well." He said, "This is great training." I said, "No, it's not." He said, "What?" I go, "It's culture." See, culture is built from coaching and from the conversations we have. So we've implemented, our first ingredient was peer to peer coaching. Then they implemented on their own without my instruction, by the way, or my coaching, is they implemented something called self-coaching. And they have something called the floor is yours. So the floor is yours is you have to be reading a book about your profession, whether it's sales or service. And then I think it's every other Friday they come in and they'll choose somebody to do, for lack of better description, a book report. Here's the book I'm reading. Here's the author. Here's what I've learned. Here's what I'm implementing as a result. So they're actually doing their own group coaching, but it's stemmed from this thing called self-coaching. So what have we uncovered so far? Peer-to-peer coaching, group coaching that's driven by self-coaching. And then they have sessions every year that they actually teach their new products. And that's the one thing about, sports tickets that people don't realize. There's a lot of productizing, much more than I ever anticipated. And so every year, and I actually initially started this with them, and then they kind of kicked me out of it, justifiably, is bringing people in and everybody was signed a different product. And then they had to lead sessions and they had to have activities. Now they got people internally leading their own group coaching. And one of the things that they do is also with their peer-to-peer coaching is you have to listen to other people when they're on the phone and give them feedback, such as, here are 2 things you're doing well. Here's an area where you can raise your game. And there's no pushback. Now, the first year, was it like that? Of course not. So a coaching recipe is using ingredients. What are the ingredients in this case study? The ingredients are peer-to-peer coaching, group coaching, self-coaching, observational coaching, and then feedback-driven coaching. So they're using about 4 or 5 different ingredients. there in the top 7 or 8 in ticket sales typically every year as a result of great training from the outsider? Nope. From them using the coaching ingredients that suits their environment. So the ingredients combined create the recipe. Now, I talk about something called the third element of a coaching recipe is the secret sauces. The secret sauces, they also have leaders who go through our coaching program. But, Jim every year will come to the sessions. He's the head person, and he will just sit there. I'll say, Jim, you have anything to add? Nope. He lets his people lead. Now, someone would say, well, Tim, that's not a secret sauce. Oh, yeah, it is. Do you know how many leaders feel the need to infuse themselves, insert themselves, get their opinion out, and he will not undermine his leaders? So when you have a Steven and a Billy and a Kara and a Dan, all these great people, and a Jake, and they're doing all these great coaching things, Jim has cascaded his leadership down. It first started with him. So now that I report to Billy, Billy does the same thing. Billy goes, nope. He lets his other leaders do it. Might not seem like a secret sauce. I think it's a phenomenal secret sauce because most people feel the need to say something. Have you ever been in a session where somebody says, do you have anything to add? No, not really. And then they start adding. They don't do that. They let their leaders lead, and they cascade it down. And they're constantly promoting from within. Now, that doesn't seem like a secret sauce. I think it's their secret sauce. So that's what the coaching school is all about. It's about creating some ingredients, which can be coaching types. It can be questions. It can be activities. You combine those into a recipe. And then what's that secret sauce? Every organization is going to have its own secret sauce, just like every chef's going to have their own secret sauce for, let's say, a plate of lasagna. I know that's a corny analogy. Let us know your thoughts. Thanks, everybody.